Thank you. Now we move on to the next presentation. Enno, I have a name here, Enno Wiebe. Oh,
thank you very
he's online? Okay.
I am online, and apologies for being online and not with you in Munich today, but the CR has actually changed its way of working to a full digital way of working. Otherwise, it's not possible actually to manage 500 experts in more than 50 working groups physically anymore. This is why I apologize for not being with you, but I've been listening carefully, and the advantage as well as the challenge for me now is, of course, to be short, because I see that I'm in between now and your well-deserved lunch break. But there is a huge advantage for me as I speak as CR after the presentations from the Commission, the EHAU and ENISA, so Alice, Ian and Marianti, that I can be relatively short, because I will pick up just those points the institutions have just made, and it allows me as well to take into account the statements from the rail supply industry. And this is why I'm not coming with a presentation to you today, because I was prepared to adapt actually my oral intervention to the information we have received in the morning. So very quickly, a presentation on digitalization and sustainability. For sustainability, I want to make it very, very short, just to say railways are clean and green, and congratulations for the composition of the agenda in the upcoming panels 2, 3, 4 and 5. From our point of view, what I see here in terms of battery trains, energy storage, dual mode tractions, alternative to fossil diesel, rail and intermodal, and cybersecurity, of course, that is the topics the CR has on the agenda as well. So I would put this aside today and focus on digitalization. And here I would like to share a couple of things from the CR point of view, CR representing the European railway undertakings and infrastructure managers. So digitalization, just very briefly what we are committed to, or our objectives. Firstly, offering connected railways. Secondly, enhancing customer experience. Thirdly, increasing capacity by enhancing reliability, efficiency and performance of railways. And fourthly, boosting rail competitiveness by making the most of transport data. And I would like to give you some examples what the CR is working on at the moment, what the CR is focusing on. I would, of course, to a certain extent, repeat what Alice Apollo said in the morning and what Ian Conlon said. There were references to Marianti's presentation as well as to Nicola Furio's presentation, and I think I will touch to a certain extent Carol Kuhn's presentation as well, so I promise you to make it short. Key areas for the CR are freight, and for freight we heard it already, digital automatic coupling. What we need to work on is a sound set of specifications now that can later on be referenced in the 2027 technical specifications for interoperability. ATO is an important topic for us. At the moment we are dealing with the electronic freight transport information. For us, holistically, that is our freight data roadmap. Alicia mentioned it, the telematic applications for passenger and freight, that is now the telematics TSI. We are currently working on this. At the moment, it's a slightly controversial discussion, but we believe that we will pave this discussion to be on a good way to have this single legal act on passenger and freight telematic applications being closed in 2024. Passenger, in terms of digitalization, is an important issue. The ticketing, I mean, it doesn't come as a surprise for you, in particular for the railway undertakings, that ticketing is an important issue. Here we are promoting the open sales and distribution model, which is laid down in a UIC specification. This is something we have worked on. This is something we fully support, and this is something we would like to see referenced in the TSIs. It's a critical point at the moment, but this is an ongoing discussion. Then signaling, and that is a crucial topic, I just want to mention the ERTMS buzzword as well as the 10T regulation. You know that there is currently a discussion on 10T, and when you have a look at the Article 17 of the 10T regulation to be revised, that's quite a milestone actually in legal terms for the European Union or for railways in the Union, where we have a very clear roadmap actually for the ERTMS rollout and the Class B decommissioning, as well as the radio-based ERTMS with the deadlines 2030, 2040 and 2050. I want to make it short because we could spend actually the whole session on ERTMS and on 10T, that the CR is very much supportive of this 10T Act. We are very much supportive of an accelerated ERTMS deployment. Nonetheless, as well as for the digital automatic coupling, we do need to talk about the necessary financing and funding. That is quite important because what the CR does not want is that the sector stakeholders at a certain point need to decide whether we go for the digital automatic coupling or for the ERTMS rollout. There are other issues in the field of signaling, CCS, TSI. There is a need for completing this CCS, TSI with the subset 153 and the FRMCS discussion. I don't want to repeat it extensively again. The UIC mentioned it already. This remains a challenge. It remains a challenge to have the validation of the specification. But long story short, we would like to see this all being soundly defined, soundly specified and validated, allowing the rollout of radio-based ERTMS as outlined in the 10T regulation, Article 17. Then further on, a couple of issues related to digitalization in the field of interoperability, a couple of registers activity, and I think we should mention the European Union Agency for Railways here, their work on RINF, their work on the European Vehicle Register. I assume that Carol Kuhn is going to mention it, but as well the registers for TDD. That was the last slide of Alicia Polo's presentation, Train Drivers Directive, where we would like to see a centralized register for certificates and licenses. And last but not least, this is something that is very close to my heart. Actually, that's in the safety domain. It is the European Register for the exchange of safety-related information. In the framework of the CSM-ASLP, this is something important for the rail operating community, the RUs and the IMs. Regrettably, there is no budget available, and I come back again and again to the same topic. We do need sufficient budget for digitalization, and this is a plea from our side to the European institutions to ensure this budget, allowing us a proper rollout. For the actors, I think we have a kind of family meeting on the panel. You see who is involved. It's the rail operating community, of course, as well as the rail supply industry, together with our interlocutors from the institutions. We have them on the panel or on the virtual panel today. We have the Commission, the ERGU, as well as ERA and ENISA. In terms of approach, if you allow me just a quick remark about the CR position, and that now links me to Ian Conlon's presentation on the ERGU on the system pillar. The CR is going to present next week a position paper on railway system architecture, where we describe our commitment to the ERGU system pillar target system. But for us, it is quite important not to have a target system only, but to have a sound migration path. For us, this includes the definition of so-called migration plateaus. This is a stepwise approach how to achieve in the end the overall railway system architecture. And as I said, we are fully committed to that, but a very important issue for us, of course, in order to ensure the investments made and fully ensure forward and backward compatibility, is a sound migration path. In terms of tools, what we are committed to, I assume that you all believe that we are fully committed to the work on the TSIs, which is going to start now with the new mandate. We are actively contributing to that. We are committed to the work of the European standardization organizations. We are a member of the Sectum Forum Rail. Nonetheless, there are, of course, some cases where there are sector specifications, and we would like to see them being referenced as well. And I just mentioned the OSDM, the Open Sales and Distribution Model. Ian mentioned it, the STIP. We believe that is one of the key elements that will lead to shaping the mandate for the new TSI revision, as well as the mandate for the European standardization organizations. And perhaps it's just my wishful thinking, but we would very much appreciate if one day, perhaps it's not realistic for the next revision, but an alignment between the TSI mandate as well as the mandate for the European Standardization Organization, and I mean a full alignment, that we have the complete overview about these standards to be referenced in the respective TSIs. I think that is a lesson learned from the last work of the topical working group on standardization. And with this, I promise to make it short. I will close here. It was just a lot of information, but my advantage was to make it short, as I could build on most of the information provided by the other speakers. We are fully committed to this digital transformation of the railway system. I want to be very honest with you, it's not always easy, but here I would like to refer to Nicola Furio as well. Let us learn as well from the other sectors. Let's not specifically develop railway solutions, because I think we should make best use of what is available and what has perhaps been already validated and tested. So why to redevelop it? Why to reinvent the wheel? Let's learn from the others. The other sectors might not necessarily, and that's what I want to openly say, always be the blueprint for the railway sector. But nonetheless, I think we should have a very open approach here, because digitalization is not railway specific. Digitalization actually covers the whole industry. So let us make best use of it. And with this short intervention, I hope not too fast, Daniele, back to you.
Thank you. Thank you again. Interesting presentation.